And what is up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting show, episode 45. We've got a fun one this weekend. UFC Fight Night 211. Corey Sandhagen taking on Yadong Song. But before we get into that, as always, we're going to start at the bottom of the card, best fight odds order. Last week, Magic told us that it's always Juicy J season. This week, I'm curious if it's always Cameron Van Camp season. He's taking on Nicholas Mata. What do you got here?
Mota is a gigantic fraud, in my opinion. I don't think he's any good. I didn't think he was in his debut. I watched his tape. He fucking sucks. Like, he's not good at anything. Really, like, he's not good at anything. He just strikes and it's not really good at that. He has a very questionable chin. Van Camp is going to be fucking gigantic next to him here, I think. He's huge for lightweight. He didn't look undersized against Fiallo at 170. He was doing very good. I mean, his defense is a complete mess, but he had Fiallo out of there. Basically, like, he was this close from winning. Yeah, I like Van Camp as the dog here, and I'm pretty sure doesn't go is a lock. Doesn't go the distance.
Yeah, and it's funny to think what the line might be here if Van Camp did knock Fialho out, right? Like,
Minus
just a game
300.
of inches.
Probably like minus 300.
Yeah, it's crazy how different. And I'm not saying that line would have been correct, but yeah, my favorite bet here is the under 2.5. I bet it at minus 150. Like you said, Van Camp's defense is a mess. He's bigger. He goes for subs on the ground. I think he's going to be an unders machine. Under 2.5, minus 150. My favorite play. I do think Mata gets the knockout. I'm not very interested in laying him
Oh,
here.
come on.
The size difference, but I'll be hoping for a Van Camp
Bro,
knockout. My boy here.
he fights with a confidence that only stupidity gives you. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get a lot of finishes and get knocked out cold a couple times in his UFC career. I mean, a couple more times because Fiallo fucking kills him.
That's
Yeah,
all we
I
need.
like the guy. Like, he goes for it. You can't really say anything bad about the guy. Submission
That's
over
all.
position, like my type of fighter.
Yeah, that's all you could ask for, especially when you're betting unders and doesn't go the distance. Next up, Tony Gravely taking on Javid Basharat. I like Tony Gravely here. I bet him plus 165. Basharat seems pretty decent, but he hasn't faced someone with the chain wrestling of Gravely. I think Gravely, even on the feet, is probably a close fight, so I was confused by the line. Gravely fought the better competition. And another funny thing I wanted to point out, when Basharat's brother won on the Contender Series, people started betting the brother for this weekend, like as if there was some kind of correlation, which I thought was pretty funny. But
And
yeah,
that was
I'm picking Gravely here. I think there's definitely value on him. What do you got?
that contenders fight was a little bit of a disappointment. Like, I bet Begoso and he like, I watched the guy go 5 hard rounds on tape and he gassed after 5 minutes. That was very awkward. I don't know if he got hit hard to the body or something. Yeah, I have seen a lot of people on Gravely here. I think Basharat is going to pick him apart kind of on the feet, and I don't really think Gravely is going to get his wrestling game going here. Maybe he can get takedowns. He probably can. I mean, he's a powerhouse, but he doesn't have great jiu-jitsu. He's not great at keeping people down, in my opinion. Basharat, I mean, I need to see more of the guy, but I think he's pretty talented. He's better than I thought he was. I still want to see more. I think Basharat by submission is a good look. Like, Gravely, when he loses, he tends to get submitted, and I think he's going to get picked apart, gas, get hit to the body, shoot bad takedown, something like that, and end up getting submitted. I don't think Gravely has beat great competition. Like, you look at his wins in the UFC. Okay, he was beating Maynes. Maynes is not great. Then he got killed randomly, but the rest of his wins are like myth. I think Basharat is talented. He can get into the top 15, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm definitely not sold yet, but yeah, differing opinions here. We'll see what happens. Next up, Daniel Zellhuber taking on Trey Ogden. Zellhuber, one of the younger fighters on the roster, coming off the Contender Series. I think he's going to beat Ogden here. I think if you got an early line of like minus 225, minus even up to minus 250, you probably made a decent bet. I decided to pass. I just think there's too many question marks where if it was like a pick'em fight, I would love to be betting Zellhuber here. But minus 250, minus 300, minus 325, I'm okay with passing, just kind of seeing what he's done in his year off. But I don't think Ogden's anything special. I think he should be in jail for losing that last fight to Spider Monkey, Jordan Levitt. Yeah, so I'm picking Zellhuber here, but no bet for me. Do you have anything on this one?
Why is like our this has changed? Have you changed anything to make it look more pro or something? Like
No,
this,
I don't
I
know what
usually see our face is much bigger. You know what I mean? I'm much closer.
Oh, I
Don't
don't
you?
know.
I thought you changed it. I mean, whatever. Hear me out. How you don't play Ogden by submission here? Plus 700. Like that Zellhuber fight in contenders. He fought Almeida, who punches hard and has a lot of heart, but is a D-level athlete, in my opinion. All he has is power. And Almeida beat the living shit out of him in round one. And more importantly, you can get the guy into body lock positions. Almeida is not a good grappler. Ogden is kind of a decent grappler. He will go for it. He has 11 submissions. He's competent grappling wise. I mean, I took some of that. Would I be surprised if Zellhuber can defend and beat the shit out of him on the feet? Not really, but I think this is a hype job. I'm not sold on this guy. He's talented, but I'm not sold. I also really dislike Zellhuber for no reason at all, other than he looks exactly like a young Oscar de la Hoya, and I hate de la Hoya, so I hate Zellhuber.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
it seems solid reasoning, right?
Yeah, it's good reasoning. I don't see
He reminds me of De La Hoya so much when he was young, and De La Hoya is a massive clown. So yeah, we don't like Zellhuber.
All right. You guys heard it. You guys heard it here first. Loma Luke Boonme taking on Denise Gomez. I thought I would like Loma a little bit more than I did. I still think she's going to win, but I'm not as enthusiastic as laying it. I mean, it's looking like the price is coming in a little bit. If it gets under minus 200, I might have to do it. Not a big fan of anything really Denise Gomez does. Loma obviously fought the better competition. Seems like the more well put together striker. I remember I messaged you when this was like minus 250, and I had just started to tape, and I was like, "Oh, this Gomez girl's terrible," like whatever. And I kind of watched more and more. I was like, "Do you really want to be laying minus 250 on Loma here? Probably not." But again, if it keeps crawling down, I might get involved. I do think she's going to win. Thank you, Espita family, always supporting this. Gotta shout out every time. We really appreciate it. And yeah, drop a like if you haven't already. This keeps us motivated to keep doing this, and yeah, hopefully keep bringing you some more winning picks. But Magic, what do you like in the Loma fight?
I'm glad I talked you out of the Loma bet. I want the credit.
I just kept watching and was like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, Gomez is not great. I faded her in contenders. I bet the other chick because she was a good grappler and she came out kickboxing for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Gomez struggles against good grapplers. Loma definitely is not a good grappler. And also, I think people are going to be shocked when they face off. Like, Gomez is like double her size.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exaggerating. I don't know how they are fighting in the same weight class. Like, Gomez is massive. She's like, I don't know how much in inches, but she's like 10 centimeters taller and built like a fucking tank. Loma is like a teenager Thai boy. She looks 13. And she cannot even finish her dinner. I mean, this Brazilian girl is going to be just walking her down and throwing hit. I took her small inside the distance and late. I have to like this. I think she's going to be just mongoloiding her way forward and making this into a war. And she's much more powerful and way bigger. Like I think this gets really hairy for Loma late. Maybe she just like takes 3 rounds clean, no problem, dominates the clinch, the Thai clinch. But I think this is a much closer fight than the line indicates. I think Gomez can make it dirty, Brazilian Akai. Brazilian, the secret juice, like Costa says.
His Twitter is the best. If you guys don't follow Paulo Costa, you're doing yourself a disservice. Next up, we've got Jillian Robertson versus Maria Agapova. What do you got on this one?
Robertson, I respect her because she's in the UFC and she is one of the least athletic persons I have ever seen in my life. Like, while not being fat. You know what I mean? It's kind of wild how little athletic she is. It's awkward the way she moves. Like, she's elite at one thing. When she's on top, she has really clean jiu-jitsu. She's very good. But how she gets there, I mean, single legs, and that's about it. She has a good single leg, but Against powerhouse grapplers, she gets shut down like triple B. Barber kill her. That is the kind of fighter that stops Robertson. Against Agapova here, I think Robertson is going to take her down and finish rather easily if she gets on top, but I'm not overly sold on her getting there. I took a little bit of Robertson inside plus 130. I think if she gets on top, this fight is a wrap really fast. Agapova defensive grappling is a huge liability. Like, she has massive holes. But at the same time, I like doesn't go a lot. Agapova throws fucking heat. Is much bigger, much faster on the feet, and she has great finishing instincts. Like, she's not a great grappler, but she's great at jumping on the back and finishing fast when she gets people hurt. So yeah, I like doesn't go the distance a lot here.
Yeah, I like Robertson here. I agree with you. I think if she gets on top, there's a good chance she finishes. Agapova's grappling just continues to bite her. I don't like her cardio. Robertson, obviously, not much on the feet. Not a great wrestler, but an okay wrestler. On top is where she really shines. I bet her earlier in the week, minus 121. I think probably minus 150, minus 175, probably closer to right. Obviously, if this stays on the feet, she's in trouble. I just don't think it will. So I like Robertson to get it done. I think she does get takedowns. I think she does get top time. If she gets on top, it's probably the round, maybe even the fight. So yeah, I like Robertson here. We'll see what happens. Next up, we've got Trevin Officer Giles taking on Luis Cosce. You rolling with the officer here, or you think that
Officer Giles? Officer Giles is one of my favorite fates in the sport, and I really thought about playing Cosce inside the distance plus 350 here. Like, if you are going to play a prop here, I think it's probably Cosce inside the distance. I didn't play it, but it's very tempting. I mean, I think it's much better than his money line. He's like plus 180. All finishes, he gasses after 8-10 minutes real bad. And Giles is an idiot. I mean, no disrespect, but the guy, I don't know what's wrong with the fucking guy. Like, he makes all the wrong decisions inside the octagon. It's especially grappling. He's a fucking mess. I'm low-key a fan of Giles. I hope he wins. So we can keep fading him. I think doesn't go the distance is a great price. It's like my minus 175. Cosce either kills you or gasses to death. Giles has been finished in all his losses. He has big power. He has a lot of grappling upside. If the fight gets extended, in my opinion, I think somebody's going to get finished real bad. Could be Orion getting the finish early, knocking him out silly or something, or snatching a guillotine. Somebody's going to fucking die. I don't hate Giles by submission plus 650, but I'm not sure about how we get there until Orion gets gassed. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like doesn't go a lot. For sure, I will have some sub or inside the distance in some stupid parlays, but just doesn't go the distance for me here.
Yeah, I have nothing here. If I was gonna place a bet, it would probably be that.
Giles, you have to take it. This is a lock, bro. You have to take it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I do think Giles is the rightful favorite. I thought after watching the last Cosce brothers fight, the next time it rolled around, I was like, oh, I can't wait to fade him. And then it's like, oh, Trevin Giles, he should beat him. And then he comes out minus 200. And it's just like, do you really want to lay that kind of price on Giles? He should win this fight. Cosce probably is dangerous early. He looks for the kill. He's coming off a layoff too, so maybe he's made some improvements in that time. Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion here. I am picking Trevin Giles. I don't think the fight doesn't go distance. I'm looking at some of these lines now. Minus 189, not bad. The under 2.5, minus 138 on one site, minus 167 on some others. So that's probably my play. I do think there's a finish. And I'm picking Giles to win. Not a strong opinion. I know you're gonna have a big take on this one.
I mean,
what? Go ahead.
Officer Giles lost to Dricus Duplessis and Morales. I mean, he lost to monsters, bro.
Yeah.
The guy is throwing monsters at him. At his Officer Giles, he should be able to deal with them. He's been failing.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here. Aspen Ladd versus Sarah McMann. How many units do you have on Aspen Ladd wins inside the distance?
I mean, my girl Aspen Ladd has been disrespected lately a lot. I understand that her performance against Norma Dumont was peak autism. And like that was crazy. Like, if she just fights aggressively, she wins the fight by default. She almost won without wanting to win. It was ridiculous, honestly. It was fucking ridiculous, especially over 5 rounds. And her last fight against Pennington, like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her. Like, does she have no brain suddenly? Because she was this aggressive girl, proactive grappler, and comes out striking like an idiot. His trainer, boyfriend, whatever he is a massive moron. He's like the worst cornerman in the UFC. Really doesn't add anything to her during the fights. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. I think she needs to go to another place to train, honestly. But I mean, she's talented, and McMann is like 75 years old. Like, what are we seeing here? I saw a lot of people on McMann getting a lot of love. Like, she has a fucking round in her, and she's not going to submit Aspen Ladd. What do you expect to happen here? Like, Ladd is going to get on top somehow round 2 or round 3 and fucking assassinate Grandma. Like, that's a fight. How do you see this going down? Like, I think that is like a super high percent scenario. Like, you don't think Ladd is getting submitted at all round 1, and she's still going to be there. And McMann is going to McMann. She always does the fucking same thing.
Yeah, I went back and forth on this fight. I initially was liking McMann, and the more I thought about it, I actually ended up liking the Ladd side. I haven't bet it just because of how she's been performing lately, but McMahon's path to victory is pretty simple. She needs to take Ladd down and hold her there. She might get takedowns, but I feel like on the ground, Ladd is the better submission grappler. If she reverses her and gets on top, it's probably the round, maybe the fight.
Ladd is a good grappler.
Yeah, she is.
People act like she's this big girl that is built like a bear or something and just mauls people. She's a good jiu-jitsu player. Like, she was going head to head with Sijara Eubanks, who is a world champion, on some difficult rolling situations, and she was dominating.
Yeah. No, that was really impressive. And we haven't seen it too much lately because for some reason she hasn't really pursued takedowns horribly for whatever reason. But she might not have a choice here because I think McMahon's going to force the wrestling. I do think there's a little bit of value on Ladd inside the distance because she does have a devastating top game.
This is a must. This is a must.
Yeah, I think
like
it
plus
is.
275. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, there is only one way to play this fight. Ladd inside the distance, Ladd round 2, Ladd round 3. Anything else is fucking square. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Like, then if she loses a striking match to Sarah McMann over 3 rounds, I'm going to commit suicide probably.
I think she might be the better striker.
She's obviously the better striker.
Yeah, I think
McMann has no striking. She just explodes for 4 or 5 minutes with some big hook or something, but she cannot strike. And she's I didn't even look at it. She's 41 or 42.
Yeah, 41 or 42, I think.
Come on.
But yeah, so both picking Ladd here. Next up, this one hits close to home. Damon Jackson, our boy, taking on Pat Sabatini. You think our guy has a shot to get it done here, or do you think Pat Sabatini is going to keep up his winning ways?
I hate Sabatini. Like, I legit hate the guy. You cannot beat that.
It would have been funny if you just stopped your breakdown after that.
Bro, he's a really talented grappler, but he cannot fucking finish bad people. Like, I get it if you don't finish an elite grappler, okay, get position, whatever, but bro, finish the fucking fight. It's the UFC. Do you want a bonus? Do you want a ranked opponent? He has had very good performances, in my opinion, technically, but not impressive. Like, he's not finishing people that he should have finished. And here, I think he's getting someone that is bigger than him, quite durable, and Jackson is not a guy that gets submitted. And I think Sabatini is like minus 1,000 to win round 1, but I think Jackson takes over here as the fight progresses. I think he's going to catch Sabatini late for a finish. I was tempted to play doesn't go the distance. It's a big number. Like, it's like plus 170, which I think it's a little bit off, but I don't really think Jackson gets finished here. Would have to be Sabatini by knockout, in my opinion, and he's not really that guy. I think Jackson is going to get him, honestly, late. I think Jackson by guillotine, round 3. Official prediction.
I like that. Yeah, I'm on Damon Jackson here. I think this fight could play out a number of ways. Obviously, both these guys are primarily grapplers. I think if either one of them gets on top, they could have some success there. Neither probably finish the fight from a top position, but Jackson's nickname, obviously the Leech, if he gets your back, he could spend the whole round there. Same thing with Sabatini. I think Sabatini's round 1 versus TJ Laramie was not a great look for him. Also, his round 3 versus Connolly, not a great look for him.
Yeah. He kind
Yeah,
of gasses. Like he goes real hard in a lot of positions where you need to be powerful to dominate, and he's not a 5 round fighter.
yeah, I agree with that. And I do think the striking, I mean, I think Jackson could win the striking. He's a good jab. What do you got to fly over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like Jackson here as an underdog. I bet him like plus 180 or something like that. I've bet him in his last 3 fights. So we're going to keep the train rolling here, hopefully, and
I
keep
mean,
our podcast winning streak alive.
yeah,
What are
it's
people, 5-0
that
now?
is a massive capping aspect. Like
Yeah.
podcast guests are 6-0 since coming here. Nobody has lost yet. That's why we cannot afford to have bumps.
Yeah.
They would break the record.
Mm-hmm. We've had some try. I told you that there were some who wanted to be on, and I was like, the problem is, like, I'd like to have fighters on sometimes, but they don't really know the other fighters that well, and people don't really come here for like an interview.
I'm going to get Alex the Great.
Yeah, he'd be fun to have on.
No,
But
I got his email. I did my homework. There's no escape now.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully by the end of the year, it'd be cool to get him on. But next up, we've got Anthony Hernandez taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. I can start this one off because I don't really have a strong opinion. I think Hernandez has the grappling upside. He's been shooting a lot of takedowns lately on the feet, pretty close fight. So I think it makes sense to have Hernandez the favorite because of that grappling upside. Not much of a finisher on top. I think Barriault could get back up. I think it'll be a pretty close fight, but I am siding with Hernandez here. I'm not interested in betting him at minus 190 or anything close to that. Hopefully you have a stronger take because mine's been boring.
I think Hernandez is an easy bet here. Honestly, I think he's going to dominate and break the UFC takedown record or get a submission. One of these two. Like, yeah, easy bet in my opinion. Like Barriault is not great. He gets taken down. He kind of gasses a little bit, even though he comes on strong late. If you make him work, he kind of gasses himself grappling. He's not a very good grappler. Hernandez is going to be all over him grappling, single legs, double legs. He's a good grappler. He's a good MMA grappler. I like him. I like his submission game. When you look at the people he has fought, he has lost. I mean, he lost to Kevin Holland. He just got hit in the liver very hard, very early. Like I bet him there, and I didn't regret it. Like Holland back there was even a worse defensive grappler than now, way worse. And I thought Hernandez was going to dominate him. Honestly, like he just got knocked out. That's a stupid take. Like no disrespect. This guy that
Which one?
Fluffy was gassing in his last fight. Come on, he put Josh Frem through the fucking grinder, bro. What fight did you see? I just watched this yesterday. Like
I was at that fight.
It was incredible pace, and round 3 he almost killed the guy. What fight did you watch? Yeah, I like Hernandez here. I think he dominates the fight. Barriault, you always know what you are getting with Barriault. He's big, he's durable in the sense of his chin, and he has power. He's dirty in the clinch. I think this is a good fight for Hernandez.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be rooting for him on your behalf as always. On the flip side, we've got Rodrigo Nascimento taking on Tanner Boser. This is probably my favorite bet of the card. I locked in Nascimento plus 185 early in the week. Boser's grappling is tragic. I think he's a fish off of his back. Nascimento, not much on the feet, but a takedown is probably the round, if not the fight. I've said that 3 times this podcast. I said that for Robertson. I said that for Nascimento, and I said that for, who's the third one? I said that for, I don't know. I forget. There was a third one, I'm pretty sure. Ladd, maybe? Yeah. I said if Ladd gets on top, it's probably the round. Okay. So third time I'm saying it, but I do believe that Nascimento here has a big grappling edge. We saw Latifi hold down Boser. Boser on the feet, not a huge hitter, but Nascimento is so bad defensively, he might knock him out. I just don't think it's a super high outcome. I guess I'd probably make Boser like minus 130 here. I just thought minus 200 was way too much. I think the price is coming in the right direction, but I do think there's still value on Nascimento. Nascimento sub, I think if he gets on top, he's going to go to work here. Are you with me or are you against me?
I mean, every fucking body is betting Nascimento or bet Nascimento when the line was wider. Like everyone on MMA betting Twitter is acting like this is the fucking lock of the century, which clearly isn't. Like I like Nascimento. I played him by submission here, plus 350 or plus 360 for a little bit, and that's it. Like, I don't think this is a big bet or anything. His striking defense is fucking tragic. And he's inevitably going to get fucking murdered because everybody's taking him, and this is the mush of the week. Like, I can see it coming. He comes forward plodding, and Boser hits him with an overhand, and he dies, probably. I took him by submission for a couple, plus 350. I think that's a decent price. If he's winning, it means he's on top, and if he's on top, he's going to submit Boser. There are levels to this. Boser's jiu-jitsu is real bad, but I'm not like super confident he's going to win this fight. I think I'm getting good value, but if Boser somehow can keep it on the feet, kick his leg, and get him down the middle with the right, I won't be surprised. But yeah, I think he's the side, but not the lock of the century like people are acting like he is. He has some serious issues getting his grappling going, I think. Like, he uses his size and his body lock, this and that, but it's not like he's this otherworldly changing levels fighter. He's not Charles Oliveira. He's a fat heavyweight. People need to relax.
Yeah, I'm certainly not acting that way. Hopefully that is clear for everyone involved. That is aimed at others. But yeah, I do think Nascimento is the side here. We'll see what happens. Next up, we've got Alan Amedovski, the biggest underdog on the card, taking on Joe Pyfer, who's coming off the Contender Series. I think Pyfer should be fine here. I'm not looking to lay any kind of crazy chalk on him. I think he's pretty decent. I mean, at this price, honestly, you could even make a case for Amedovski, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to get involved. Like, Pyfer probably knocks him out, but I have no interest in laying a crazy price on him. So stay away from me. What about you?
I parlayed Pyfer inside the distance minus 250. Like, bro, they are throwing a bone at the guy because he put on this great show at Contenders, and it was the worst Contenders card of all time. And he looked like a fucking action Julio Cesar Chavez MMA version or something. And Dana was all fucking horny about him, so they are setting him up for a big win. Amedovski is one of the worst fighters on the roster. He just has power. He has no grappling whatsoever. He looks undersized. Pyfer should be fine everywhere here, but he has a gigantic grappling edge, and he would be a massive idiot if he doesn't grapple here. But I think he's fine everywhere. I took him. I think he's going to finish this fight round one. If you are playing Amedovski, take him by knockout is plus 700. Much better than his money line. He has never won a decision. He's all knockouts, and he really cannot grapple. Like, if Pyfer has a brain, he shoots a double leg, and that's the fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Both taking Joe Pyfer as a pick. Bill Algeo versus Andre Fili. I generally think this probably plays out pretty close on the feet. Fili finished in his last fight pretty quickly. Think that was kind of just something that happens. I don't know. He's typically a pretty durable fighter. Doesn't necessarily get finished very often, but it happens. It happens to everyone. Algeo, not exactly the power fighter that he's faced in the past, but good volume, good cardio. I would say that about both these guys. I think if anyone's going to have grappling success here, it's Fili, but I do think it probably plays on the feet. If you put a gun to my head, I would pick Fili, but I really just don't have a good feel. No play on words for this fight. So yeah, the pick is Fili. If I had to make a bet on this fight, I don't even know. I'm looking at the over under, like it seems about right. If I had to make a bet on this fight, I would not. I would take Fili submission plus 2,000 because my friend's taking it.
I would for that. That was pathetic. How can a line move $4 with a $125 bet?
That's how you know they respect it.
But in reality, all these submission bets you are making at ball are mine.
They're gonna be like, this guy all of a sudden starts playing these weird props.
Yeah, I have a hot take here. I think Fili should be like minus 300. Like, I think he's 75% here easily. Like, he loses to people that either knock him out or are powerhouse or grapplers or very superior wrestlers to him. If you look at Fili's career, I have it open because I think it's a curious statistic. Like, when he wins, even if Sam loses, he got 5 takedowns against Artem Lobov. Okay, I will take Artem Lobov down. That doesn't count. But 4 takedowns against Dennis Bermudez. 2 takedowns against Michael Johnson, who is a very good defensive wrestler. He got three takedowns over Sodiq Yusuf, 5 takedowns over Jourdain. Then he got out grappled by Bryce Mitchell and 1 takedown against Pineda while killing the guy. Algeo is a guy that can get grappled. I think his submission defense is trash. He has been submitted twice. He was close to getting submitted a couple more times. I have no idea how Ricardo Lamas didn't submit the guy. I think Fili is fine on the feet here. I think he's more than competitive. I honestly pick him to win the stand-up. Algeo doesn't punch hard, and he's not a grappling threat to Fili, and I think Fili dominates the grappling at will. He can get takedowns here. He can get top time. He's the biggest puncher. I think he should be a big favorite in this spot. I don't get the line. Fili minus 300 for me. So yeah, I parlayed him at minus 125.
Love it. Let's go Fili then. Touchy Fili, great MMA nickname. Co-main event, Chidi and Jokani versus Gregory Rodriguez. This fight has flipped. Initially, Gregory Rodriguez was the betting favorite. Now, Chidi and Jokani is the favorite. Which line do you think was right? Who do you got here?
I think Robocop being the underdog makes no sense, but I don't want nothing to do with this fight. I have no money on it. The guy is an absolute moron, doesn't grapple when he has to grapple, strikes when he has to grapple, when he has to strike, he grapples. I don't know if he doesn't have a brain or what. Like, if he comes out here grappling heavy, he runs away with the fight at a high clip, in my opinion, probably even gets a finish on the ground. But the guy is a massive idiot, so he probably comes out here and gets fucking bonked. But yeah, he should be the favorite. But I'm passing. I want nothing to do with this fight. And Njokwani is not a good wrestler or whatever, but his defensive grappling looked all right against Todorovic, who is not the greatest offensive wrestler, but it looked all right. And he has been looking sharp on the feet lately. Robocop is hittable. I think Robocop should be the favorite, as I said, but I have this feeling that he's going to get bonked. So yeah, it's a pass. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'm passing this fight too. Rodriguez just hasn't shown that he's willing to offensively grapple, go shoot a lot of takedowns. On the feet, Chitty, longer fighter, better technical striker. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, but obviously RoboCop, the better submission grappler. He just hasn't shown that he's going to commit to going for takedowns. And I think you have to take Chitty knowing that, just basing it off what you've seen on tape. RoboCop doesn't shoot takedowns, doesn't do it at a high clip. So I think he's going to make a mistake, choose to stand with Chitty here. I think Chitty knocks him out. I was thinking about taking Chitty when he was like a slight underdog. I have no interest, minus 125. This is probably a stay away fight for me, regardless.
Robocop, if you look at him, like the guy is pretty much a complete package. Like he has it all to be a good fighter, but he just takes stupid decisions.
Yeah.
I thought he won against this guy, not Petrosky. This Eastern guy, the kickboxer. I thought he won.
Petrosian.
Yeah, Petrosian. I thought he won quite clearly, but he lost the decision. But yeah, he has it all to be he's a good fighter, but he doesn't have a brain apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, that like he's 30 officially, right? That motherfucker is not 30. Like for sure. Like no way. He looks like Obama for real. He looks 50 years old.
Yeah, he does.
That's a good line.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good line. Robocop by submission or decision plus 250. I like that.
Until he doesn't shoot a takedown. Main event time. Yadong Song taking on Corey Sandhagen. Seen a lot of strong takes on both sides here. I do think Sandhagen's the rightful favorite. I think he will win minutes. I think he is better volume, better technical striker than Song. But Song has the power. It wouldn't shock me if he has bigger moments and makes this a close fight. Wouldn't shock me if he has some finishing upside as well. So I'm staying away, but the pick is Sandhagen. I do think he wins either late or a decision. It's again, not a strong opinion. I have a few strong opinions on this card, but some of the fights that I'm passing on, I have like no opinion whatsoever. This one, I think the line's about right. So I'll pass it over to you.
I like Song here. When it got announced, it's obviously a competitive fight, but when it got announced, my first reaction was like, Sandhagen is going to get beat up. Song has looked very good lately. He's improving. He's young. That's what he says. He's young. I don't know if he's 20 or 29, but he's definitely young. He has been 20 for like 15 years. But yeah, Sandhagen is, I like the guy and I like him as a fighter, but people make it out to be as if Sandhagen is this great white hope for America at bantamweight, like this great style bender guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not that guy. He's just long and tall. He doesn't have power or a lot of finishing upside outside of submissions or accumulation TKOs. He gets hit a shit ton. Like his defense is he has tall man defense. His defense is his reach. I think Song is the much better athlete, much more explosive than him. Probably the better technical striker. This is the first time he's facing someone that is like a technical power puncher, like Song can crack. And Peter Jan beat the living shit out of him not long ago. It was impressive that he went the distance. I think Song probably even cracks maybe harder than Jan, just one punch or close to that. But yeah, Song is super explosive. I think he's going to have his moments for sure. Win the early rounds. If someone has grappling upside, it's probably Song. Sandhagen is tricky on the mat, but he's not going to get takedowns or anything. I like Song. I played him plus 162. I was tempted by inside the distance plus 350, but I don't want to be the idiot holding a ticket if Song like knocks him down twice and wins at 48-47. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money line is just right for me here. Sandhagen is pretty durable, but yeah. I just think the Sandhagen in the people's imaginary, as I always say, is a different fighter than the Sandhagen in reality. Like this guy was getting assassinated by Yuri Alcantara. I mean, give me a break. He's not immortal or anything. I like Song here. Would I be surprised if Sandhagen takes over late and plays a very good technical fight or whatever? Can like shut Song down a little bit with movement and range? Not really, but I think Kyler Phillips will beat the living shit out of Sandhagen.
I hate the way Kyler Phillips fights.
He's stupid, but he's really talented.
Yeah. All right, Lambo parlay. I do not have I am not in a legal state right now, so I'm struggling to find props. So this might just be a money lines and totals.
I played so much stupid shit already. Let me check.
Leave any comments if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Yeah, all right. I'm going on money lines and totals here. Get ready.
Remember to bet in a really degenerate way this week because there is a week off.
Yep.
To compensate, like to keep like the unit risk compensated, you have to bet double this week.
All right, let's see what this comes out to. Damn, I can't even parlay this.
I'm going to go with. Yeah, I really like this one. This is going to be my degen parlay.
Hit me.
I played Barriault versus Hernandez 5/10 by submission. Robertson versus Agapova 5/10 by submission, and Damon Jackson by submission. 150 to win 9,750.
Dude, mine is so I like this. I can't really do one this week. How about this? Can you I'd tell you the props and you like tell me what the odds would be? Wink wink.
Yeah. I can do that on best fight. Shoot.
Okay, lad inside the distance.
Okay, lad inside the distance. Done.
Then we're going to go Robertson inside the distance.
Next.
Then we are going to go Van Camp fight doesn't go the distance.
Okay.
And then last but not least, I'm going to go with I feel like I need one more leg here. This is a tough choice.
Pyfer inside.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Two more. Pyfer inside and then doesn't go in the Giles fight.
Officer Giles.
Yep.
Okay, this pays plus 2,586.
If you want to lock that in, you can be my guest. If not, at least you guys knew I threw something together, but I cannot bet that myself right now. So we're gonna roll with that.
I didn't place it. Like I'm doing it on best fight odds.
Oh, okay.
I like that parlay. It's probably hitting.
Yeah, it's definitely hitting. All right. Would you rather see Chimaev stay at 170 and move up to 85 ASAP? We actually have had a friendly debate on Twitter over this. I think when fighters miss weight, their next fight should have to be at the weight class above. I also thought it was fun when Chimaev was fighting at both weight classes, especially considering they're going to run Usman versus Edwards. I'd love to see Chimaev do a fight at 185. Depending on how that goes, if he wants, he could step right back into a title fight at 170. But Magic, I think you want to see him stay at 170. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would like him staying. I think they are going to make Colby versus Chimaev next. I will make that fight. That is a massive pay-per-view fight, and it's a clear number one contender fight.
Easy money,
Colby will fucking die so bad. Bro, like, grandfather Masvidal almost knocked him out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's the truth. Like, if Chimaev, like, how do you think Chimaev versus Colby looks? Do you think Colby's taking him down?
Oh,
Are you going to be that lame to tell me that Colby takes him down? You saw when Gilbert tried to take his leg.
So here,
that guy is a fucking rock.
Here's what happens: either Chimaev sprints for a finish like he does against Holland and gets it, or he's going to be in deep trouble late. I think that's the truth. I don't think Chimaev in 5 rounders at the pace he fights is going to be good for him. And look, I like Chimaev. I bet on him pretty much every single fight he's had. I just think in a 5-rounder versus Colby, I think you got to take the dog shot, especially like, I don't know. People are talking like it's going to be an easy fight for him. Maybe he finishes Colby. He's bigger than Colby. That's probably the biggest
smokes
thing.
him. Like, I think he smokes him.
He might. I mean, he might finish him in 3 minutes, but if he doesn't, wouldn't want to be holding a chalk.
Rafael dos Anjos was getting takedowns on Colby.
Those are more like reactive double legs.
No. Against the fence.
What
do you think happens if Chimaev gets on top of him?
That's funny. I don't know. He probably gets back up.
If it is an extended striking fight, Chimaev is going to demolish him. Like, I'm dead serious. I think he kills the guy, whatever the fight goes. I hope it happens because it's going to be a closely lined fight, in my opinion. And I will place a massive bet on Chimaev finishing.
This is the take. Strip Edwards and make Colby versus Chimaev for the belt. I like that. Zane Rutherford's a freaking beast. How many units on Triple G? 0 from me. Maybe a couple from this guy.
I mean, if, like, full disclosure, if I win big on UFC, I'm going to make an irresponsible bet on Golovkin, like 100%. I'm going to pretend I'm not, but to pretend to myself that I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? But then Saturday, UFC card is going to be over, and if I did well, I'm going to be like, oof, up 5 figures? Golovkin plus 400 here. Yeah, why not? The line is wide. I mean, I will make a thread or something and post my thoughts on the fight, but it's wide.
Yeah, and I get people have said this. I mean, guys, I've bet on Chimaev literally in every one of his UFC fights.
Chimaev has great cardio.
I don't know. I mean, I thought he proved something against Burns. Like, all jokes aside, like
But it was insane pace, and if that fight has a couple more rounds, Barnes fucking dies. Like, I don't know what people are saying. Like, he was killing Barnes in round 3.
And Burns is really good too. Like, I've seen some people say like, "Oh, Chimaev struggled with a blown up lightweight." Like, Burns is a top 5 guy. At
he looked in his best shape ever, Barnes, for that fight. He looked like a monster, and he hurt Chimaev once with that massive right. He proved a lot of things. Like, he proved he has cardio. He proved he has striking. He proved he has power, durability. The guy is a monster. Like, at 170, the guy that may give Chimaev issues is Usman, but Usman is chinny.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, how that plays out with
and the chef cut.
Yeah, he's solid too. What else do you got for us?
Answering the question, I hope he stays at 170, but
I think
his next one is 170, and if he misses or something, But people are making this out to be like this disaster, or like the guy didn't look sucked in on the scale or anything. Like he obviously had drank water. Everybody around him is saying he can make 170 no problem. Everyone has had botched weight cuts. Like Habib failed weight. A lot of greats failed weight. Like Topuria recently fucked up. People are acting like this is a career-ending circumstance or something. Like he just missed weight for one fight. Like, this happens every week, but since it's Chimaev and he was facing Nate Diaz, people are acting like this is a military disaster or something. He just missed, had
Yeah,
a
we've
bad
seen
weight
it
cut
happen
or
before.
whatever, and they call the weight cut.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before. We'll see it happen again. Chimaev's obviously proved he can make welterweight in the past. He's done it a few times in the UFC now. Taylor, yeah. Oh, guys, it's David Taylor season always. It's always Juicy J season. It's always David Taylor season too. So I'm going with Taylor for sure. Bantamweight's a mess. Who would you actually rank the top 3 fighters as?
Jan is the best fighter in the division. I know he lost. Okay. Sterling, we talked about this already extensively. I think Sterling maximized his win condition. Okay. I think he lost. He got the decision, but I think Jan is the best fighter in the division, and I think it's pretty clear. I don't think it's a hot take at all. But yeah.
What
I don't know.
about
Top three, I don't know. Like I think there are a lot of people that can beat Sterling. You know what I mean? And TJ, I don't know really where he's at. We have only seen Sandhagen, and Sandhagen is a very specific matchup. I
I
don't know.
think Sterling, Jan, and then maybe
Vera is
Murad.
up there.
Who?
Vera is up there. Over 5 rounds, Vera is a tough fight for a lot of people. Marlon Vera.
Yeah. O'Malley might be up there too, honestly.
Normal is a pussy.
We'll see. I mean, he's getting thrown to the wall, so we'll see.
I think he's a gigantic talent, but the guy is an idiot and a quitter. Like I will die on that hill. I think he's a quitter. He has a lot of quit in him.
I think we're gonna learn a lot about him in this Jan fight, win or
Oh, he's
lose.
going to learn a lot too about himself.
Maybe. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. I don't think it would be a meme. I don't think
He
it's
can
super
he
high
can knock out
percentage.
everyone. Like people are
Yeah.
acting like it's a fight, it's MMA, and it's not like he's plus 2000. He's a very
Yeah.
talented guy, very big. He has a punch. Anybody can get caught, kicked in the fucking face or something. But Jan is obviously the better fighter, and if it develops into a high pace war or something, Jan is going to murk him. I think Umar is going to get exposed. He's great, don't get me wrong, but people are acting like he's Habib, and he's not Habib.
Hard times ahead. Yeah, I mean Cheeto's gonna run into some issues too, but he has great cardio, great durability, so that's kind of his X factor. I am not gonna watch ADCC. I don't know much about jiu-jitsu, but all I know is Gordon Ryan over everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what time is it, but I may watch. Like I'll probably watch. There are a lot of good people. Yeah, Gordon is going to beat everyone rather easily. He's the number one pound for pound, and it's not really close. Like he changed the game. Galbao or Ryan in the super fight, bro. Gordon Ryan is minus 1100 in the super fight.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm taking. I think Gordon to win.
Yeah. Guys, like and subscribe. Let's go. We got a week off next week. We'll be back the week after for the October 1st card. So yeah, enjoy the fights this weekend, and we'll see you 2 weeks from now. Peace.
Yeah. Bye.
I love the thumbs up at the end.